Ba-ba-da-bow-bow, Banger Management Fantasy Hockey Podcast. Woo!
Woo! Woo! Welcome in, everybody, to Banger Management, the Fantasy Hockey Podcast with Jake, Josh, and Kevin.
Woo!
I was just getting roasted for a trade that I made with Josh a few weeks ago, but I'm still optimistic. So that's the current state of our discussions. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
For everybody out there, it was the Matthews versus Celebrini trade. We're still going over it.
Yeah, I got Matthews and Zetterlund. I gave Josh Holloway Celebrini, so let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
Let's see. But he came back earlier than people thought. It was supposed to be minimum 6 weeks.
He came back exactly at the moment Josh thought he would come back.
Honestly,
right,
we'll see what he can do. It's great.
Yeah.
Come for the fantasy hockey, stay for the telepathic superpowers.
Yes.
Today, Week 16, news and updates, and our famous Would You Rathers. This is probably the most excited I've been all year to do a news episode. I feel like there's a lot of fun stuff to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Two very fun things, specifically.
Two extremely, extremely fun things. And then the Would You Rathers.
Yeah.
That's where things get.
That's where things both becomes rocket ship when we get there.
Exactly.
Also, speaking of rocket ship and boat, shout out to Karen in the Discord who made some memes about our the Banger Management lingo. I have some new photos in my camera roll to use now, and I'm really excited about it. I got a boat goes up picture. I got what else do I got? I got something else. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're all of you. There's none of me.
Perface, the beer beds.
No, there was
Take it away, Ernie.
Oh,
No,
yeah, take it away, Ernie. That was sick.
that was a good one.
All of them are iconic.
Yeah.
I bet my house.
Yes, on Zillow. That was funny. That was funny. Honestly, we have to make a dictionary or something. Like at this point, I can't even keep track of what we're saying.
Yeah,
That's
honestly.
just how you know it's not forced. It just happens naturally, and we're just going with it.
Oh, splitting feathers. That was
Yeah.
the other.
Yeah, splitting feathers. How could I forget? Honestly.
Brilliant. Anyway, Kara, great work. We really appreciate it. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. We are there. Subscribe on YouTube and give this video a like if you enjoy the nonsense and the serious stuff.
You come for the serious stuff and you stay for the nonsense.
Yes.
That's it.
That's
what it
actually
really
the
comes
perfect
to.
way of putting that.
Exactly.
Which I thought of that.
Exactly. And what?
What?
What did you say? We should do what?
You wish you thought of it.
I wish I thought of that.
It's okay. You'll have your
And
moments.
all the socials are in the podcast description. And be sure to join the Discord community. Great stuff in there.
Yes. Lots of memes.
Poppin'.
And good fantasy
Yeah.
hockey information, of course.
Yes, exactly. All right. Shall we start with our first news story, which I'm super excited to talk about? This one's serious. No nonsense
Yeah.
here. This one's
No lollygagging.
All right. Let's dive
Zero.
right in because there's some really exciting stuff to talk about. This was I actually want to pat myself on the back a bit for this one because we recorded an episode and in that episode, like our last one, and I said this guy's getting traded today
Yeah.
or next 2 days. I recorded. It's you guys
you
can
said
check the
today or
tapes.
tomorrow.
Yeah, and what happened within like 24 hours? Rasmus Andersson traded to Vegas Golden Knights for Zach Whitecloud, a first, a conditional second, and a prospect. I mean, we knew it was coming. The question was who it was going to. Towards the end, it seemed like it was between Boston and Vegas.
Yeah.
And Vegas, I mean, Anderson said in the offseason that he only wanted to go to Vegas. So that pretty much, that definitely helped them out. Vegas is somehow in on every single big name trade guy ever. And they actually made this trade without having an extension prepared because they're so confident they're going to be able to extend him.
Yeah.
Which is like such a luxury. Teams, Boston would have had a better offer and I think they would have gotten the trade, but they weren't willing to do it without an extension because they weren't confident they can get it done. Vegas has no worries about that.
Yeah. I mean, they are the LA Dodgers of hockey. Like, it just feels like the rich get richer and they're able to pull off all these moves and players want to go there. And I mean, listen, Anderson is a great defenseman. I think the trade package, honestly, it feels like I don't want to say it feels like nothing, but like
Nah, I think
with
I'm
all
pretty
due respect
excited.
to Whitecloud. But the first round pick, the second round pick becomes a first round pick if they win the Stanley
They
Cup.
win the yeah.
So maybe two
I kinda
first
love
picks. Yeah,
I love that like in an extra like way because it kind of like forces all Calgary fans to now bandwagon Vegas for the year. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
sure they
it's
did not want to do that.
increases their TV ratings, whatever. You know, like there's some other stuff going on there. You just got yourself a bunch of like fans for like a season.
Yeah.
But no, it's pretty much a first and a second. Like, what are the odds they win?
I mean,
But I don't know. I'm pretty happy with that. Like for Calgary, what else do you expect other than a first, a second, a prospect, and an NHL defenseman in return?
no, absolutely. Like and they knew Andersson was not going to be there long term. So I'm just saying the repercussions fantasy wise is irrelevant. I think for Calgary, I mean, like I'm not now Zach
Well, I mean,
Whitecloud's a must
there's
pick up
the
or whatever, but
no, I mean, there's the repercussion of like the void
Yep.
that Andersson leaves, right? It's
Mhm.
like who's getting power play one. I saw the coach recently say today that it's going to be either Perek, which is what we kind of expected, or I don't even know how to pronounce his name, Hunter Brusewicz. Does that ring a bell
I'm
to
not
either of you
going to
guys?
attempt his name either.
Okay, but the coach essentially said the two of them are going to get reps. Notable absentee from that comment is Mackenzie Weegar.
Yep.
He is beyond cooked points wise. Bangers wise, he's still solid, but like, you know, if you see this trade happen and Uyghur doesn't immediately slot into power play one, you're like, all right, that's the nail in the coffin for Uyghur power play one dreams.
I was gonna say the nail in the dagger,
here,
but
the big question here is what does this Vegas power play one look like?
the same as
I
it
don't
already
think
is.
I don't think that's that's cemented at all. But I do think that in all likelihood, it's gonna be the three. Of course, Eichel, Marner, Stone. They're not in danger of losing it. And then between Andersson, Hurdle, and Dorofeev, it's gonna be a bit of a revolving door.
And Theodore.
Yeah, but less so. I think this
You
buries
think Andersson's
Theodore
higher?
more.
You think Andersson's higher on the power play one depth chart than Theodore is?
I think
Just because he's been so good this year. Like when he had to show up, like he showed up at the beginning of the year a lot, and now he's going to be surrounded by an unbelievable cast, way better than he had in Calgary. This does not make Andersson a must buy for me. If anything, I feel like some people would be really caught up on like the hype and may want to buy him so you could sell him high. I'm still scared of it because I don't think he automatically slots into power play one by any means, but I do think he's going to have some sort of role there over the next few weeks to try at least.
I mean, in my opinion, I don't think this power play is changing. I think they've had a lot of success with it, with how it is right now. I think they love Mitch Marner running the power play. Like he's a defensive forward and he brings so much offense from that position as well. I think they'd just be, messing things up if they tried to put somebody else in there and change the rules up. But that's just my opinion. I think the fantasy repercussions, though, like, first of all, would I be shocked if Andersson gets a chance running it and they bump off Hurdle or Dorofeev? No, but I think it's unlikely. You'll have to watch the practice reports. Right now, we can only give our best guess. And I think right now this gives a prime opportunity to sell Rasmus Andersson on the hype of him getting traded to Vegas before you even see where the lines are at. So like by the time you're listening to this, he might have played his first game for Vegas, but I'm trying to sell him being like he just got traded to a Stanley Cup contender. They have no, defenseman on the power play one. He probably is going to be the guy that just traded for him. If you could sell him on that and get like a top 10 defenseman, like I'd be thrilled. That's kind of what I'm trying to do.
Absolutely. I like to check Kevin's biases sometimes, and he has Dorofeev on his team, but in this case, I don't think it's a bias. I think I agree that why mess with something that's been working, right? I think that what this does is it makes the leash shorter, though. Now they have a guy who they're comfortable slotting in. For some reason, they didn't want Theodore there, but now they have Andersson. So if the power play does dry up at any point, I think Andersson definitely will get a shot there. But do I see their power play drying up? Like it's so good, like they're killing it. So I think as long as it's doing well, there's no reason for that to change. But I think the leash is shorter now. And in terms of the selling high, I fully agree. I think his value could only go down from what he was doing in Calgary. He's no longer the most important player / defenseman on his team. He's part of a amazing team full of guys who are better than him, so, or at least better in the deployment chart. So I would be selling high. And if like, let's say you're talking to someone, they're like, oh, there's no way he's getting power play one on Vegas, whatever. Like I would kind of spin it being like, look, I'll be honest with you. We don't know if he's getting power play one, but there's a chance he is. The second he's power play one, I'm not selling him to you. So if you want a chance at him, if you want to take the shot, if you believe in it, then trade with me and, we'll make this trade. If not, then, I'm not going to sell him with you not expecting power play one. So that's kind of how I would frame it if I was negotiating with someone on an Andersson trade, but definitely do not buy.
Yeah. It's just, I would say actually Hurdle was just my sell high. He's the one I would be most scared owning right now. I think he's the one who would get bumped off first. Obviously, it's totally different. It's not like Andersson's going to play net front where Hurdle's playing, right? they would have to shuffle things around. But I do think, like, look, you just paid up for this defenseman. It's not to lock him in on power play one because they're already loaded with the 5 forwards. But it really, the transaction, like we keep saying, is sell if you can. Because even if he does get it, he's not necessarily going to keep it. But it definitely makes it a bit more murky for Hurdle, and I'd say also Dorofeyev, although I think Hurdle would sooner go to power play 2 than Dorofeyev.
I think Dorofeyev is just a trigger man that can score goals on the power play,
Yeah.
and like honestly, it's a very valuable position to be in for him himself. It's not easily replaceable. Like Rasmus Andersson is not taking that role, and Hurdle is not that guy either for that role.
Exactly.
So
And Dorofeyev shoots left, and the rest of them are righties.
I think this was just for, honestly, for Vegas. This is not a move to bolster their special teams units, like their power play units. This is a role for their defensive units being more compact, having more talent on the back end, another right-hand defenseman. I think this is just like them wanting to be a better team, and their power play is already sick. Their offense is already sick. So they're,
Yeah.
you know, the holes on their roster were at D and they just filled it. So Vegas is going to be a very
Yeah.
dangerous team.
And I mean, look, their goalies haven't been that spectacular this year. You know, now they just got a defenseman who can eat pucks for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You know, so if it helps the goalies out a bit at all, you know, they're thinking playoffs, they're thinking Stanley Cup. You know, so it's not always massive fantasy ramifications.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's move on to the next one. Because
one more thing, it's such a flex to say if we win the cup, it becomes a first.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that is like such a flex.
Yeah.
Usually you see we make the conference final or something or whatever. Now they were just like, all right, if we win the cup. That's a
yeah,
good
that's
reminder of that.
crazy. Yeah, I love that.
Okay.
All right. Another massive trade. Kiefer Sherwood was traded to San Jose for 2 second-round picks and a prospect. I mean, we all knew he was getting traded, so that's not a surprise. But I don't know if until like talk started heating up and I heard San Jose's name in it, but I don't know, a few weeks ago, I wouldn't have expected San Jose. Like, this is actually a big signal from San Jose. This is saying we're buyers.
Yep.
We're not sellers this year. Like, we have Macklin freaking Celebrini, you know? Like, we can do anything. So yeah, I think this is pretty crazy. In terms of Sherwood's value, look, your instinct is to say it has to go down, right? He can't get better deployment than Vancouver. But there's definitely a available spot on power play 1 in San Jose. Like, it's nowhere near locked down, right? So if he gets power play 1 with Macklin Celebrini, there's a chance he gets better, but that's a big if, because even though it's not locked down, there are a lot of guys who kind of belong there above Sherwood.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how that kind of shakes out.
I mean, this is one of the best landing spots that he could have had. Honestly, like we were very pessimistic about the prospects of where he would land and how that would affect his fantasy value. Now, is he going to have the deployment that he had in Vancouver? No. I feel like anywhere else is worse. But this might be top of the list on where, he could have landed and still been really successful. I'm kind of intrigued now because, listen, he's second in hits in the league right now. That's not going to change. His archetype is a guy that's going to be hitting like that. That's his play style. But if he can get a special team spot, like, I feels for sure on PP2 on this team, but power play 1, if he gets there and he plays in the top 6, we'll have to wait and see. A lot of projections, but I expect him to have like a line 3 power play 2 role. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But I think it's more likely he ends up in the top 6 on a power play 1.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, that top 6 is wide open. Like, power play 1 is open. Top 6 is wide open. Like, there's a lot of guys who, like, have gone on these hot streaks. You have, like, Igor Chernyshov was really sick for a hot sec. Pavel Regenda. Yeah, exactly. But, like, none of these guys are household names that there's no way this guy's getting bumped out of, like, top 6, So, like you said, they just sent out 2 seconds. Like, this is a move they made because they want this guy on their team. He's going to help them. I think top 6 is very, very possible. And like you said, power play 1's a little less likely, but still possible.
I think this is also
he would have been.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
He would have been buried on Edmonton and never really thrived there. Colorado. I'm just talking about like teams where he could have gone, not necessarily like someone that were in talks. Yeah, I mean that would that's just a disaster.
I would have been like, stop hitting so much.
Yeah, even Ottawa was in on him, I think.
Yeah, but that also I don't think would have been a great spot. I mean, to me, not that Ottawa's a contender or anything. I just think that they actually do have like a lot of star power, and they're just having issues figuring it out on a season-long basis. But the other teams, the other teams though, like he would have just been a third, fourth liner. I think. Even without power play 1, you're not unhappy. His value does go down, though. I just thought, like, with the other teams, the wagons, the absolute contenders, it would have, like, cut his value by 40%. So now it cuts it by, like, 15 to 20, which is not horrible.
Yeah,
at all.
with the upside of,
Exactly.
being even better somehow. I think definitely in terms of like possible landing spots, if you're a Sherwood owner, I'm like pretty excited about this. I
The-
can't think like, is there a better place you could think of that he could have ended up?
No.
The main question though is now that we just touched on Sherwood being a sell high, and we do still believe that strongly in the moment. Now that we have the landing spot, what's your assessment on his trade value? If you're a Sherwood owner, are you holding to see how things play out? Are you trying to capitalize on this is a good destination? Maybe I can trade him still for what his value was before. What's your mindset?
If you could sell Sherwood and convince someone he's going to be power play one with Celebrini and get value for that, I'm taking it in a second. But if the person you're trading with is like, nah, he's not going to be power play 2, he's going to be worse, like only sell him high if you can sell him high. Like if someone's going to assume the worst, then like wait for the worst to happen and then trade him at that value.
What's important to mention too that we didn't mention and we should have said at the beginning was he's still injured and he might not be back before the Olympic break. So you're gonna have like multiple weeks of him just on your IR on this new team where we're able to hypothetically think about all the possible scenarios, which can work in your favor. Be like, listen, if he was healthy, he'd be here. Whereas we don't have the thing of like he's healthy and he's not there, so we can't prove that, right? So what do you think, Geekie?
It's really, really murky. I'm not looking to buy, and well, look. Let's just all say where we're at. You know what I mean? I am not willing to pay the price that I was going to pay because I think there's a lot of room for things to go down. He was in the ideal scenario, right? Now this is just a fantastic landing spot, but it's not as good as had he stayed on the Canucks. That's where I'm at. Now, I guess the way that I would try to frame it is that he has a super safe floor because of who he is, and they obviously traded for him to give him the minutes. But I think you're going to have a lot of difficulty, honestly, selling him on the guaranteed power play 1, similar to what he was doing, offensively on the Canucks. So I think that if you're buying, be aware of that's where things are going to go.
Can I give you a few names? Like, Sherwood is not in the Would You Rathers. I have to preface that. I thought I went some with I'm gonna Proface that. Oh, that was also one of the memes. There you go.
Yeah.
But it's definitely worth discussing where we think his value is right now. So, like, would you rather Sherwood or Timo Meier rest of the season?
I'm taking Sherwood.
Okay, like once he comes back, or like right now, or do you think it's just irrelevant? Because like you are getting another few weeks.
I'm not talking about the injury. It's like right now I'm valuing Sherwood as like the prospect of where you think he fits up in this lineup and the potential.
Okay, so you're saying if I have Meier, would I trade him for Sherwood?
Yeah.
Okay. Probably.
Really? Okay.
Probably. But I got to be very happy that I'm in the playoffs. Like I need to be a playoff team to do that. Because it is a consideration. Like he's injured.
And we're obviously talking bangers leagues, right? So
yeah.
What about Cutter Gauthier?
I think Gautier's got I think Gautier's got the offensive capabilities that they just like it's gonna come in waves, whatever. But based on what he was doing, I gotta go with Gauthier there. Plus the injury, right? That is a factor, right?
Yeah.
It's extra few weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I got to go with Gauthier just because, like, look, we recommended him as a buy low. If we and I believe it, so I think that he'll turn it around. Look, he's not going to do what he did at the start of the season, but the shots on goal are just unreal. So that kind of mitigates the unreal hits from Sherwood. And then who do you think gets more points and power play points? It's going to be Gauthier.
Okay, last one. What about Dylan Strome?
That's tough. I feel like Strom's going to definitely get more points. No face-offs. It's just like I hate that archetype of player. We all hate that archetype of player, right? A guy who's going to get you like 0.9 points per game, like 0.2 power play points, and then just like nothing on the back end, versus a Sherwood who can get you like almost like a bit more than half the points of Strome and like like half power play points if any, but he's just a beast in the back, cats. Like I'd wait for Strome to hit a really hot streak points wise and then like get Sherwood plus.
Okay,
yeah,
but I'd rather have Sherwood.
I think Sherwood. Tough though. That's a cool thing.
Yeah,
totally different archetypes.
All right, we can move on now.
All right.
It's a good.
We have permission to move on.
Yes, you do. You're welcome.
Actually, a lot of these are really, really hot topics. Like, not. Yeah. Sorry, it's a really good news story.
No, this has been a really exciting week.
Great week for news.
Okay, here was a big one. The New York Rangers announced they will not be re-signing Panarin and are entering a retool. So Panarin is essentially guaranteed gone unless he just wants to screw over the Rangers and, stay to the end of the season.
Or they go on a major win streak.
Yeah, well, I mean, either way, he's not re-signing with them, and if he decides to stay, he can stay. But he's pretty much as good as gone,
Mhm.
right? So we kind of treat it as like looming trade incoming, and then also a bunch of other New York Rangers assets. I think kind of at the point we're at, there's very few guys who are like locked in. I think Igor, Fox, JT, and Zibanejad, because I don't think they want to waive their no move clauses, but pretty much everyone else I think is on the table. I don't think they would trade Will Cooley either. Just doesn't make sense with he's like young and would fit with Retool. But like I think everyone. I mean, I'm looking at Panarin. I'm looking at Trocheck. I think it's the two biggest names.
Unfortunately, they were both on my fantasy team, and I drafted them with the prospect of having them on my roster for weeks 21 to 23. So that's not fun. I think Trocheck is a huge commodity. Honestly, he might be the most sought after commodity, I think, if he's actually on the trade block, because a lot of teams would love a center with that skill set. And there's not a lot of centers that are up for grabs right now in the league. So if any team really needs one to get over the edge, like he's the main guy, and I feel like the Rangers could get a haul for him. Panarin, if you're trading for him, you're probably trading for him with the prospect of a contract extension, because or else Panarin basically wants to go somewhere where he can win the cup or get paid with the term that he wants. The Rangers are not willing to do that. First of all, because their team is in a big situation right now where it's like they're in flux. They don't know where they're going. So they're not going to commit.
That's what Kevin's trying to say.
They're not going to commit to him long term when they don't even know if they're going to be good. So yes, and there's a lot of destinations for Panarin. Some of them are great, some of them are bad, and hopefully it's a great one.
That's why you come here for this hard hitting analysis.
Yeah. Well, the main thing that I'm seeing is that teams with Russian players are more likely to land him because for the obvious reason.
Yeah, I keep seeing people meme that like Florida's going to find a way to get him. And Bobrovsky, like they're best friends, like so.
Yeah,
it's just they have a bunch of LTIR shenanigans going on right now. So who knows what's going to happen there? But yeah, I mean, pretty much.
Verhagen going the other way. It's written in the stars.
Okay, that's now you're cooking. I could see that.
Juvis Balinskis going the other way.
No,
they can't get rid of the power play quarterback like that.
Yeah,
so.
Seriously.
So, do you guys know how old Panarin is?
Is he?
My guess is like 31.
I was gonna say like 35.
34. But
I was gonna say 34.
Pretty good. I asked because he won the Calder Trophy the year that McDavid also made his debut in the NHL, because he came over from Russia. And yeah, this is all to say that I think he's gonna go to an older team that's like, pretty set this year. Florida could make sense. You're right. They're BFFs, him and Sergei, from what I understand. The good news with Trocheck and Panarin is that they have succeeded on every single team they played on. Yeah. They've been journeymen. I don't know if you could call them that. I mean, they've just been on different teams throughout their careers.
I mean, Panarin's been on like 3 teams.
Yeah,
3 teams.
But I guess for a player of his caliber, that's a lot. Yeah, that's fair.
Same with Trocheck, and they're all good. Now, my brief assessment on this whole thing. Sucks for the lack of week 21 to 23 games. It doesn't get better than the Rangers. They have the best schedule. It also really is not super concerning because no matter where they go, they're going to do very well.
I'd say Panarin, I fully agree. I think he's going to do well everywhere. Trocheck, I think, could take a massive hit because I don't think he's guaranteed power play 1 wherever he goes.
Yeah, but he was drafted this year without the guarantee of power play 1 anyway.
Oh,
right?
I mean, it's not about that. It's about what's he doing right now. He's been on power play 1 for almost the whole season. What's he going to do when he gets traded? A lot of teams looking for a 2C aren't looking for a 2C to go on their power play. They're just looking for a 2C to, be great at even strength and on the penalty kill, something like that. So, I mean, look, there's a world where he goes back to Carolina. Not to put shake
there is a world.
But he was even decent there. He was decent there.
He actually was. He was immune to the Rod curse.
I will say, you have Trocheck for the backhats, right?
Yeah.
Anything else is bonus, kind of like you were saying. So, even his value goes down, he's still going to be valuable to have.
Yeah. But I think
that's what I mean. Last year he had 0.15 power play points per game, and this year he's at, he's better. He's at 0.25, and especially over the last month is at 0.5. But he was still ranked 15th overall in our Bangers League with faceoffs.
Yeah.
So you're not unhappy, no matter what's going to happen here. It's just the games. The lack of games is annoying.
What are the teams that need a strong 2C? I think the Habs
feels like the whole league, honestly. I feel like there's been a huge drought of 2C.
Hey, don't hate on Oliver Kapanen, okay?
I think he would be sick for us. First of all, I think if he came here, he'd be exactly what we need. I'm looking at Colorado. I feel like Brock Nelson has been really solid there, but if they can put a Trocheck in their lineup, I think that's honestly a no-brainer.
I don't know. I feel like Nelson was that move for them. Like, and he's been so good that they're not going to bump Nelson to line 3, and they're not going to acquire Trocheck for that price to play him line 3. So I don't see Colorado as a destination.
Tampa low key.
If Point is out for a while, yeah. I mean, who's their number 1 C right now?
Cirelli.
Yeah, Cirelli.
Yeah. I mean, Olympian Cirelli.
Yeah.
But
Carolina is always a great team too. Like they always need to see him. Don't want that to happen, but
I mean,
San Jose.
no,
well, they just gave Wenberg.
No, they just paid Wenberg a lot.
Wenberg is a 3C. We all know that.
But I feel like
I guess I don't see San Jose. I don't see it happening.
Too,
do you think LA maybe with like Kopitar retiring at the end of the year?
LA could for sure.
Yeah, I would not be too happy if. Yeah, no chance. That'd be crazy.
You gotta laugh and Byfield, the 2020 top 1 and 2 picks.
Yeah, the 2020 busts. No, I'm kidding. Byfield's actually good.
But for Panarin, I know we're spending a lot of time on this, but Panarin, I feel like if he went to Florida, I'd be pretty happy. Yeah. I'd be really happy. And plus, Florida has a great playoff schedule too. Like in terms of alternative options outside of the Rangers, like they have a 3-4-4.
Yeah.
Ottawa, I feel like is another all I'm hearing from Ottawa is like they want to get more offensive talent. Is that what they need? No, they need goaltending.
That's not what they need at all.
But I'm saying that's what I'm seeing.
They're building the Edmonton Oilers model, Yeah. All offense, no goaltending, mid defense.
To be honest, Kevin, I'm not sad about wherever any of them go. I know it seems like it, and I'm the first one to say the players. Even there though, like Panarin there is kind of bad, but Trocheck there could do okay. Like really, I mean, it just depends. Like, but really, these are 2 of the safest players to move because they've moved teams multiple times and have done well everywhere. That's the way I see it.
I own both, and what I'm doing right now is Trocheck. I'm not shopping at all. I'm just holding the bag wherever he goes. I'll deal with it. I think he's too valuable in terms of like what he brings to my team and how I built my team. Panarin, I'm not trying to force him off my roster. But I do have a couple trades out there that are pending that we'll see. I have interest in one of them. I can't put it on the podcast, actually. I actually have to keep this one close to the heart. But
wow.
But he's I'm not forcing him off my roster. But if I can get a deal for somebody of his caliber, then I'm open to it. Without the
uncertainty of the trade.
Exactly.
100%. Yeah. All right, I think we should move on.
Yeah. We'll pick up the pace on the next few, but they're super.
I know there's a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff.
Mathew Tkachuk is back against me. Classic. Starting off on line 3 power play 1, bumping off Anton Lundell. How is this possible? Okay, he's been out not like 9 months. On Monday, the
baby's
day,
a bit bored.
The first day, yes, I had an entire child before Mathew Tkachuk has been since the last time he's played hockey. Okay, on the Monday of the week I play him, the Monday 4-game week, by the way. Obviously, why wouldn't it be? Mathew Tkachuk's like, you know what? This is it. I'm feeling it. I knew it's been a couple of weeks, right? Like they've been talking. He's ramping up. Whatever he's coming. I'm just like sitting there like. I know. Yeah, I look at my matchups ahead of time. I know what's going to happen. Kevin plays him 2 weeks earlier before me. He's like, "Oh my god, he's coming back this week." I'm like, "No."
Yeah, he was playing. He was playing at the practice with he had shed the non-contact jersey, but they weren't ready to commit to him to come.
No, you had to wait for the perfect moment. And guess who got put on LTIR to let him to come off? Seth Jones, who was on my team. So it all, we're all having fun and it's a great time. So I hope he does super well this week.
Half glass full always.
Yeah, exactly. No, this is crazy. I mean, how does this affect everyone? I mean, I actually just realized I put this as a hot topic because he wasn't actually officially back when I wrote these news stories, but then he was back and it was all updated. But no worries about that. But yeah, what do we think? He bumps off Anton Lundell, so I think that's a pretty big loss for him losing power play 1. But we kind of saw that coming. I think the biggest thing is Verhaeghe going to keep power play 1 when Marchand comes back? I'd say no. So it's probably if I had to, when all the injured guys come back, it's essentially Marchand and Jones. I think it's going to be Jones, Marchand, Tkachuk, Reinhart, and Bennett. That's what I see it playing out as.
Yeah, and I think the first one to get bumped off in that situation would be Bennett. If they were to bump anybody off at that point for Panarin or something, it would. I think that's what would happen. But right now they have him slotted in as line 3 power play 1. I think the line 3 is literally just a placeholder. The puck drops, they might put him on line 1 or line 2. So absolutely. I'm not reading into that at all.
He'll probably play with Bennett. That's where he plays. He's played all of the last 2 seasons. So I think that's kind of where he slots in.
They like what they have gotten from like AJ Greer in the meantime while these guys were out. So I don't know, maybe they don't want to mess with the chemistry that line has developed. But I mean, Luostarinen on line 1, I don't think is cemented there either. But at the end of the day, I think it's going to be like Tkachuk line 2, and then probably Marchand line 1, or vice versa. And that's going to be
honestly,
the
I
top
could
6.
see like they really liked that Lundell, Luostarinen, Marchand line.
Yeah.
That was their line 3 last year. That might be their line 1 this year with Barkov out. But I mean also
Reinhart
it doesn't really
was
like
there.
mean anything, right? Like Reinhart, like their whole top 9's gonna get like a bunch of minutes, and
Their top
because they just
9
have
is
that many
sick.
good players. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's
So
actually sick.
I wouldn't read too much into those even strength lines unless they're on line 4, which none of these guys are going to be. So what's important is power play 1, and no surprise he's there. Everyone playing with him should get a bump. Like all the Panthers just get a bump because they just got a great player on their team.
Yep.
And maybe this will be the beginning of Bobrovsky not sucking.
He was my Bailo this last episode.
I'm a Bennett owner, and I'm pretty happy about this.
Yeah.
Like I can't think too far ahead of like the scenario in which he gets bumped off power play 1, but he's played so well, and I think he's cemented himself there. So for me, I think that Lundell's position on the power play has been in flux all year. They could be a 5-forward team, who knows? But yeah, Tkachuk's definitely gonna be cemented on there the rest of the season. He's probably their best. Well, him and Reinhart. Actually, you know what? They're loaded.
Yeah.
The truth is, even without Barkov, I think this is going to be a great finish of the
crazy.
season. And I'm very excited to own either Bennett or Lundell, to be honest. I understand he got bumped off, but I think that they're just going to have either easier matchups or get the opportunity to play with a better winger. That's the way I see it. If you own Lundell or Bennett, I'm happy.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think Lundell might get a good boost.
That's
Yeah,
it.
even
without the power play.
Yeah.
Even without the power play, like it's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, Leon Draisaitl is taking a leave of absence for family illness, but is expected to rejoin the team later this week. Jake Wallman on power play 1 while he's out. Keep hearing people being like, Jake Wallman, power play 1. Oh my God, I got to pick this guy up. I'm like, guys, this is going to last maybe 4 days, maybe 2 games.
Looks like it looks like the Capitals situation where they got him on right wing type thing. But not actually, but sort of.
It's just like when you're asking that question, do you genuinely think Leon Draisaitl is going to come back? And they're like, nah, Jake Wallman, man. You know, like, no, obviously he's like, it's just a placeholder. Don't like rush to pick this guy up. Yeah.
Look, I met Jake Wallman, as we know, nice guy. But
you guys played basketball together.
Shares the same first name.
But and he shares the same last name, you know?
Yeah, true. Whoa, how do we not think of this before?
That's it, Josh. Jake Wallman is our son. But
exactly.
We have to get a cameo from him now or something.
Yeah, honestly.
Well, Geekie can just text him. They go way back. And I'm sure I'll get a message on Father's Day, you know?
Yeah, but anyway, all this to say, I don't think this is really that significant at all. When Leon's back, he's just going to play there, and then Wallman's going to go back to being a decent block guy.
Yeah, they said something happened in the family
whoever...
for Leon. Like,
yeah, so won't be too upset at him for ditching us Draisaitl owners. I hope everything's good with the family, and hope he comes back soon. All right, next. Dylan Holloway returned from injury and is starting off on line 2 power play 2. I don't expect that to last. I think it's a very easy power play 1 to crack. And this is pretty exciting for us Holloway owners who diamond enhanced him all season. Definitely didn't just trade for him. No, this is great. I mean, before his injury, his shots, hits, even blocks numbers were kind of unreal. The points have not been there this year. St. Louis has been a dollar sign, as we like to say. But it can only go up. It literally can't get worse, right? So as long as he maintains those back cats, I'm happy to have him on my team. And we'll just see if they can get some life after the Olympic break and, do one of their classic St. Louis, runs to end the season, even though it's not going to be enough.
Well, once Binnington carries the Team Canada to another gold medal, I'm sure that everything will turn around.
Dude, how much fab are you going to drop on Binnington after Team Canada wins gold with him in nets?
Clearly,
do you remember what happened last year?
I'm up before that happens, but yes.
Yeah, okay.
Because now I'm stuck with 2 goalies that do not want to play hockey. So, yeah, that's great.
That's fair.
Look, I know we're like trashing on St. Louis, and rightfully so, because they've been a monumental disappointment, but the playoffs are not actually out of reach for them. It's just like,
I know.
It's just not looking good, but it's not looking catastrophic.
It just looks awful, but like it's still mathematically
No, it doesn't look awful. That's what I'm saying. Like for the Canucks, it looks awful.
I mean,
for
they don't want to make
the Blues. But for the Blues, they're 19, 22, and 8. Like, that's not that far from 500 at all. And I feel like for them to make a push, and like I hope they don't succeed because I traded Holloway away.
I was gonna say.
I'm just trying to be as fair as possible here.
No,
And
it's
I think
true.
that my realistic way of seeing this is that he's going to play a very solid role for them, regardless of the power play one. I don't think there's any rhyme or reason as to who goes there. He should be there for sure. I mean, Snuggerod's been actually decent. Like I have him, but he can. Every single person currently listed on their power play one is not safe to stay there. So, regardless, you're going to get good stuff out of Holloway, and I'm pretty sad that I traded him and then he was out way less than I thought he'd be. Like this was not 6 weeks ago.
Josh,
when
I was gonna say, Josh did what
Like-
all the good Diamond Hands owners do. They have somebody else hold him, and then they take him right before the guy comes back. in peak Diamond Hands fashion.
Yeah.
But I mean, listen, Holloway was one of the best pickups last season. Like he blew everybody out of the water. He finished the year so strong. He was one of the best fantasy hockey players this season. I forget, was he one of your signature picks? I forget.
He was mine, yeah.
There you go.
Now he's back where he belongs.
Yeah.
And I was trying to acquire him all season, and Geekie was like, nah. And then he gets injured, and he's like, okay, maybe.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
going to cut him, so might as well just give him to you.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't expect a 0.82 though, right? He was at 0.5 this season. I think it's going to look like 0.65 moving
Yeah.
forward, which is not
0.7.
bad.
Honestly, like
Sure,
as long as
but-
he gets his he was at almost like a what do we call it, a double triple or something, like
Double
like
triple.
3 shots 3 hits, like
Yeah.
he was close to
Yeah.
that like this season, right? Like he's at like 2.5 something
Mhm.
like that. If he does that and he was also like blocking, like I get me 0.5 plus points per game and I'm happy, you know.
Yeah.
That's
What happened
great for
was-
my roster.
He started not really great, and then in December he was on an absolute tear,
Yeah.
and then got injured.
That's it. So
Probably
I'm
because he
hoping
was
can
just
go
going
back to
way
that.
too hard in the paint. Like,
Yeah, honestly, like you look at his game log and it's like all dashes right from when he was injured, but then you like
Yeah.
scroll to the last couple of games that still appear there, and it's
Yeah.
sick back cuts. Like it's really unreal.
Yeah.
4 shots, 3 hits, 3 shots, 6 hits, more of that, and then he gets hurt. But
I mean, listen,
yeah,
he's not Zetterlund,
he's-
but he's been pretty nice.
Don't
Yeah.
hate on Fabian Zetterlund, okay? He's done just fine.
Yeah.
Done just
Don't let Kevin get in
fine.
your head, Jiggy. We'll talk more trades later.
Is he?
Yeah.
We got actually a lot of Holloway questions because people have been
Okay.
either holding him or he's on waivers right now and he just got healthy. Like, where do you rank him in
Okay,
terms of like St.
here's-
Louis assets?
Well, I'll tell you exactly what I expect from him rest of the season, and if that sounds like a type of guy who you want on your team, pick him up.
Okay.
I expect, let's say 0.65 let's say like 0.65 to be conservative. He has the upside of being like a 0.8, you know, like 0.85. But let's say 0.65, that like you should safely expect. Power play points 0.15. I don't expect too much. And then shots like let's say like 2.6, hits 2.6, and then maybe like 0.8 to a block.
Mhm.
So if that sounds like someone who like, you know, you've been consolidating all year because you've been listening to Banger Management, you have some empty roster spots in your team, you just need someone to round out your back cats and also has the upside of being able to like produce points, then you grab him. If you're expecting him to be a point per game guy, then, you know, unfortunately he's not that guy.
Would you rather
Yeah,
have
I
it
don't
with
think
Jared
he's
McCann?
finishing the points.
Sorry, you guys both spoke at the same
Sorry.
time.
I just don't
Well-
think he's finishing with the points tear that
Yeah,
he
that's
did
fine.
last year.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
agreed.
saying. Like, I don't think it's gonna be like that crazy.
Yeah, well, that's why I said
Jared
0.65 I
McCann.
think is reasonable.
We
Yeah,
we
I'm
recommend
taking
people
Jared
to pick up
McCann.
Jared McCann. Like, you know, hot pickup. He's been on fire. Are you see Holloway's healthy now? Are you pivoting?
I'm taking Holloway over McCann.
We're
That
talking
could be a
yeah,
hot
that's
take.
about, obviously links with shots, hits, blocks.
I just think that McCann's going to get more points and more power play points.
Mhm.
I don't think it's going to be that huge as the gap is right now. I think McCann's at his hottest and Holloway's at his lowest.
Mhm.
But I'm confident like McCann probably is better for that. But I think the back hats are massively in Holloway's favor, and I think McCann is a huge band-aid.
Mhm.
And so I wouldn't be I mean, he's been on and off IR all year. Look, I know it's funny to say because Holloway just came off a
Yeah.
6-week stint on IR, but like I'm more confident in Holloway's durability than McCann's as well.
Okay, one
And in
more
terms of
name.
the playoff schedule, like
Mhm.
so McCann's a 3-3-3. I'm talking weeks 21 to
Yep.
23. McCann's a 3-3-3. Holloway's a 2-3-4. So I know we don't like those 2-game weeks, but also a bunch of those games are off nights, which
Yeah.
really helps, and they're all against easy opponents.
Mhm.
So I prefer Holloway's schedule, like especially if you're like squeaking in the playoffs and you like feel like the first week of the playoffs is going to be a slog for you, then you prefer the 3-3-3. But if you're like going in the playoffs pretty strong and you're like the first round I should be good and it's really like the second 2 rounds that you're focusing on, then I like Holloway's schedule more.
What about Zuccarello over Holloway?
Oh, Holloway for
Holloway.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Sherwood?
I'm taking Sherwood.
Yeah, I think the Holloway's main asset over Sherwood is because
The
Sherwood
shots.
shoots also, right? Like,
Yeah.
but like Holloway shoots more, but Sherwood does shoot, and his main asset would be points, power play points. But I'm not confident enough in that difference, so go give me the safer bet of Sherwood.
Okay. All right, let's move
Yeah,
on.
I'm there too.
All right. Dan Vladar is on IR. That rhymes. With an undisclosed injury. Sam Ersson is the starter while he's out. Let me just get this out there. Do not pick up anyone replacing Dan Vladar on the Philadelphia Flyers. The only reason the Philadelphia Flyers are where they are in the standings is because of Dan Vladar. He's the only like bright spot of that team this year. You know, like some of their offensive guys are having decent years here and there, whatever. You know, like Konechny's always solid, but like the reason they're doing well is Vladar. So, I mean, you saw Kolosov play a game. He let in 3 goals on 3 shots and then got pulled. He finished the game with a 0 save percentage. I think that's happened like 3 times in the history of the NHL. So, and then Ursson's not even much better than that. So, yeah, no, if you're looking for a starter, honestly, I'd rather Jonathan Quick than Ersson. And that's saying something with how Quick has been.
It is. I mean, not much to add there. I think exactly what Josh said is exactly what you guys should think. Like Vladar is the only rosterable goalie on this team. I'd rather hold him as a dead spot to pick up any of these other goalies.
Yeah,
so
at least he won't get you negative points while he's on IR, you know, like versus the other guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Jacob Chikrin returned from injury and bumped John Carlsson off power play 1. We hope everyone sold high when we told them to.
Yeah, there's no surprise.
He bumped
This
off
happened.
Ethan
This is
Frank
bound to
as soon as I picked him up. And then John Carlsson kept PP1 for like that one game, which was lovely. The one game that I had Ethan Frank on my roster this last week. So
That's your fault for picking up a guy who spells Ethan wrong.
It's not his fault. Do you guys know who the best Ethan is?
Who?
Ethan Bear?
No. Mission Impossible, man.
Oh, I thought you were talking in the NHL.
Not in the NHL.
Your repertoire of movies is so random.
It's crazy. It's actually nuts.
Makes Mission
no
Impossible. Yeah, just like if you say,
he's like
if you say who's the best
Ethan.
Dorothy, and I'm like Dorothy from Wizard of Oz, you're like haven't seen it, and I'm just like, all right. You know what I mean?
It's Mission Impossible. Like we were talking about franchises last episode or whatever. Like President Caribbean, sick. You guys should go watch it. But
this is this new gem we
Impossible-
found out about.
Never heard of it. Yeah, it's Tom Cruise, man. All right. Anyways.
Yeah.
But I feel like Chikrin's a pretty guaranteed spot on this power play.
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, he's the
And
guy.
Frank.
Yeah.
Frank's doing well.
I
Okay.
picked up Ethan Frank in last week because I needed goals and I needed shots. And then he got 0 of those. And then I didn't pick up Kent Johnson because I was like, I need goals and I need shots. And then Johnson got a goal and an assist and shots. And yeah, it was awful. But do you guys think that John Carlson sticks on PP1 though, or you think he's like fully bumped off? Because like he's been
Chikrin?
bumped off the whole Carlson, because Carlson was like on PP2 the whole time. They had Ethan Frank there. Then Chikrin comes back and then somehow they bump off Ethan Frank instead
I
of
think
Carlson.
that Washington is literally waiting for they're like please someone take Carlson's spot on power play 1, and then everyone they put there is just worse than him, and they're like fine, we'll keep Carlson on
Yeah.
power play 1. But I mean there's been rumors about them wanting to acquire an a strong offenseman for like a while, so I think the second they trade for someone, Carlson's gone. But even internally they've tried like every single, they're like we don't want him here, but
Yeah.
he's better than all the other options right now. So no, I don't think he sticks on power play 1 long term, but for now he seems to be their best option. Okay. Leo Carlsson is out 3 to 5 weeks with a thigh injury. Mason McTavish is line 1, power play 1 while he's out. I mean, we talked about Carlsson as a buy low. We knew he was injured, but it wasn't the extent. He was more like day to day, and then all of a sudden it was 3 to 5 weeks. How far, like, how close do you think you can get to his early season success when he comes back from injury, like post-Olympic break? Obviously, that was insane, but like, do you think he gets anywhere near that? Is he still like the buy low we recommended before this timeline came out? Like, what's going on with him?
I think his value keeps going down, down, down. I think rest of season I project him at like 0.8 points per game. And you're not going to get anything close to what he was doing earlier this season. I think it would be unrealistic for most players to do what he was doing earlier this season. And he did that for like close to 2 months. So
Guys, like, I think there's leagues out there where people traded like Leo Carlsson for Nikita Kucherov,
yeah.
right? Like Carlsson was like ranked
Yeah,
number 1,
yeah.
and the first 2 months like Kucherov was so bad.
Mhm.
Like we'd set to sell high. Like, oh my god,
People bought
I really
Panarin.
hope
People bought
yeah,
other first round
100%.
picks.
Like this is such a like this is one of the most extreme cases of a sell high just immediately like diving down, right?
Yeah.
Like from that, because being that high up for such a consistent amount of time, like 2 months, to just crashing and being like almost unrosterable. Maybe not almost, like pretty much unrosterable, other than what he did. Like if he started off the season with what he's doing now and didn't have that insane start, everyone would have dropped him. No one would be holding him other than like dynasty leagues. But because of how insane he was at the start, everyone's still hoping for that. But I agree, 0.8 is kind of where I see him.
There's 5 weeks before the fantasy playoffs. What do you, if you're a Leo Carlsson holder, like what are you doing?
I mean, 5 fantasy weeks,
5
but
fantasy
there's
weeks.
actually the Olympic break in between, so he's he's not missing every week until the playoffs. So he's not completely out. I mean, if I'm a Carlsson owner and I have the IR spot, I'm just stashing. You're not going to get better value for him in a trade than what he could potentially do in a bounce back. It's kind of the same as like we had some like buy lows earlier this year, like that we were talking about. Where I mean, I was holding some on my roster, right? Like I was holding like Seth Jones at the start of the year, right? It was awful, and I was like, I'm not going to drop him or I'm not going to trade him away, or Svechnikov at the start of the season, right? I'm like, why would I trade him away for peanuts when I'm just better off holding him at that point and just hope that he turns it around, which he did, you know? Like there's when a guy's value gets that low, but his potential is that high, your best move is to just hold. Obviously, now, what do you do if you don't have the IR spots? Like, obviously, it depends who the other IR guys you have are, but assuming they're better, I think you got to drop, right?
I see this as a tremendous opportunity for McTavish. I know it doesn't seem like that, but he's still a young player. Sure. He got paid pretty decently from them, and now he's going to be playing, the biggest role on this team. So to me, I think that this is still like a team with offensive potential. I know it's not looking good. I mean, right now, Carlson's looking at a point per game on the year, and like you said, it's based on that insane run at the beginning. So I don't know. I mean, if you don't have an IR spot, like that's what we're saying. I mean, I would still probably hold through it if you're in a deep enough league. If you're in an 8-team league, like
deep league / comfortable in a playoff spot, you hold. But like, let's say push comes to shove, you can't play with a dead roster spot for if you're fighting for the playoffs, right? So
he's the type of guy that if I have him, I'm trying to do 2-for-1s, and I'm just adding him as a second 2 and just be like, take him. Here's like a throw-in, basically. If I need that spot, I don't want to cut him. I'm always trying to do my due diligence and be like, literally trying to do like a 1-for-1 lateral move where I slightly like the other guy better. I'll add in Leo Carlsson to that before I just cut him for nothing.
Yeah. No, this is only if you have to cut him.
Yes,
we obviously would not. That's not the ideal way to use him. You'd rather just hold him. But yes, if you have to cut him, you always try and you get the value otherwise.
Who would you give to buy him? Like in our league specifically, right? Like we're talking like we're 14-team league, very deep. So like waivers are scarce. Like most of the waiver guys that we recommend on a weekly basis are not available in our league. Who are you willing to give for Leo Carlsson? Would you give a Ryan O'Reilly?
I would give O'Reilly for Carlsson. Yeah. I think maybe that's a hot take with how unreal O'Reilly's been. I feel like it's super unsustainable, and I feel like we've seen Carlson's ceiling and it's unreal, and I'd rather just take the bet on that ceiling.
I think that would be accepted.
I think that would 100% be accepted. In our league, the owner has both. So
Thomas Hertl?
I would not give Hertl.
No, I think I'm keeping Hertl.
Yeah,
unless you're like convinced that you think Hertl's getting bumped off power play 1 because Andersson showed up, which I'm not convinced. But if you in your mind, everyone has their convictions, and you're a diehard Vegas fan, the inside scoop. You spoke to Cassidy earlier today.
Yeah.
Like other than that, I'm not giving up Hertl for Carlsson.
What about Rasmus Andersson?
Cousins?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I'd give up Andersson for sure. What about Cousins, Kevin?
No chance.
Okay, cool. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's go to the next.
Okay. I think a lot of the next ones are let's speed run.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do them quickly.
Yeah. Josh Norris is week to week with an injury. Noah Ostlund taking a spot on power play 1, surprising absolutely nobody. And he'll come back, and then he'll get injured again, and that's kind of the story.
I mean, he got cross-checked in the ribs, so listen, it can happen to anybody.
Yeah, but it happened to him.
Yeah. But we don't say anything about Seth Jarvis, like cracking ribs and everything. Anyways.
Yeah, and then he came back a week later.
Yeah, it's been like
a
week.
A 5 double or whatever you want to call it. He's getting like 5 shots, 5 sets a game. It's crazy.
He's unreal. Okay, I didn't check that out.
The last thing I saw about Josh Norris, for all you guys that are holding Josh Norris, first of all, if you have a lot of other injuries, like
drop him.
You can cut him. But somebody asked, like, do I pick up? Oh dang, I forget what the name was, but it was like somebody that had no power play 1 potential, and it was Ross Colton. Like I have a dead spot right now with Norris. Do I drop him for Ross Colton? And waivers are scarce. I said no. I said I'd rather hold Josh Norris because this person was in a good position too, and like Colton has no like prospects
Yeah.
of getting power play 1.
Don't drop Norris for someone who's going to give you zeros. You know, at least keep the zeros that have a potential.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, Ross Colton is pretty sick for bangers. Like he's been really shooting and hitting a lot.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
understand like streaming those categories, but Norris
You
also
don't have to explain Ross Colton to me.
Yeah.
I was the I was
you're only
there.
Ross Colton.
I was there when it was written.
Yes.
Would
this
you
is
drop
Norris
Norris for Zetterlund?
No. I'd rather have Ross Colton than Zetterlund.
No, you're crazy.
Look at Ross
What
Colton's
is-
game log, okay, first of
Look
all.
at Zetterlund's game log.
I did. I've memorized it.
1.5 shots last 2 weeks, 2.25
Okay,
hits.
let's
Okay.
finish
let's
your
go
talk,
to
and
the
let's
Josh
move on.
Norris should also be back. They said like in a couple of days they could get great news and he could be back type of thing, So
Oh, yeah.
not
And then he'll
expecting
be
it
out
to
again,
be like
but
months.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
no, for sure. Okay, Shane Gostisbehere is day-to-day with a lower body injury. Alexander Nichushkin, power play 1 while he's out. Every time we make this news, it's just like the double, like, you know, like,
This,
you
no,
just
this,
getting, like,
this doesn't even
double
bother
smacked
me
in the
anymore.
face.
Because it like
I will
when
say,
he's-
like,
it actually like zero affects me as a former Nikishin owner and current Gostisbehere owner. It's annoying that he keeps getting hurt, but when Nikishin has power play 1, he puts up great peripheral numbers because he's playing more. And when Gostisbehere is back, he is pretty much not that relevant. Which like is kind
Nikishin,
of just classic misuse of the players by
Sure.
Rod for fantasy purposes. At the end of the day, when Gostisbehere is there, he's gonna get it, and when he's not, Nikishin will be there. That's my
Yeah.
way of seeing it.
I will say this, like, the fact that Gostisbehere, like, keeps being, like, in and out is, like, the only hope of our trade not being a complete fleece in Jakey's favor. Like, I'm like, okay, at least he's not playing every game, But yeah, no, it's he'll be back, but he's also kind of like, this is kind of his MO over the past couple of years. I've owned him pretty much like every year the last couple of years, and he always just day to day back in, day to day back in. So when he's healthy, yeah, snip snap, exactly. Like when he's healthy and like killing it, like that's one of the reasons I like selling. Not because I necessarily like don't believe in his production, but it's mostly just it's annoying,
Yeah, it's
okay,
definitely frustrating in that way.
yeah. Let's go to the next one. Mackenzie Blackwood returned from injury. He should be splitting the net with Scott Wedgwood moving forward. He got pumped for 5 goals. Wedgwood didn't start a game for 3 straight, but he's starting today. So, yeah, I think it's just a pretty clear-cut split at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah, he came back, he got a shutout, and then had 2 pretty not great games. But yeah, I mean, realistically, like it should be a split, but Blackwood did have the edge. So, I don't know. I still think 50-50 is a safe bet, though.
People were worried with Wedgwood because he didn't start for 3 straight games, so it was kind of like
he was one of my
panic
hot
button.
topics, and then I saw that he was starting today, and I'm like, okay, well, there it goes. It's hard to find these hot topics.
I know.
Okay. Val Nichushkin is day-to-day with an upper body injury. Arturi Lekkonen's power play 1 spot is a bit more secure while he's out because he had already been bumped off. But yeah, I mean, this is classic Nichushkin also. You talk about a guy like Gostisbehere who's always day-to-day back in whatever. Like, Nichushkin's the same way. He was, I really hope our listeners sold high on him when we recommended it because he was like just the clearest sell high ever. And yeah, I hope you sold high. If not, you hold and hope he gets power play 1 in time for the playoffs. It won't be consistent, but if it's for those 3 weeks, then you're happy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
Nelson's a bit more secure now, I guess.
Yeah,
like that's another
yeah.
thing.
Nelson's definitely the 4th.
But their
guy
power
out
play's
of
not that
5.
gread anyways. So
No.
like
They
it's
should
not
be,
really
but
the
yeah,
bread
it's
and
not.
butter.
I was also going to say, like,
Very
Nichushkin was
funny.
basically a drop before this injury as well. Like, he was... a lot of people were having me rate their teams in the Discord and, like, what do you think of my team? Where can I improve? And, like, the worst guy was always clearly Nichushkin when he was on these people's rosters. I was just like, you can cut him for a streaming spot. Like,
Yeah,
pick up Jared McCann, pick up Jordan Eberle. Like,
yeah.
you'll be better off.
And I don't even like. I don't know if you guys remember who our targets were, but like you could have targeted some really good guys a few weeks
Yeah.
ago. Not to rub it in if anyone wasn't able to pull it off, but I really hope people were. Okay, here's a bit of a surprising one. I didn't see this coming. Matt Boldy was placed on IR. Vlad Tarasenko takes a spot on power play 1. Did you guys see anything happen? Did you guys
It was
hear
out of
anything
nowhere.
about this? To me, this came out of
Yeah.
nowhere. I did not expect this.
This was like when Eric Carlsson got put on IR. It was just like, oh, he played like 23 minutes the night before, and then randomly he's like, oh yeah, he's on IR and he's missing potentially
Yeah,
multiple
not
weeks.
even day to day,
No.
just straight to IR. straight to jail.
Yeah. I was like, in my mind, I was like, maybe this is a thing for them to get some space.
Yeah.
It is.
That's a
Believe it or not, jail.
I thought maybe they were opening some cap room for trade or something, and then.
But you can't just do that. You can't just like put a guy on IR.
I know. Like obviously he has to be hurt.
Also, if you're gonna put a guy on IR, it's not gonna be Matt Boldy, you know, just for.
If he's the one that's hurt, then maybe they could be like.
I mean,
yeah,
that's fair.
You know?
Yeah. Anyways, I haven't heard. Have you guys heard it? I mean, I think it's possible he's just like on IR for the minimum amount of IR time, which would be he would miss. There's 4 games this week. He would miss the first 3, so he'd come back for the 4th one. But I really haven't heard much about it. And Tarasenko in the past, like, look, I'm not the biggest fan, but he has done well when he's had that power play 1 spot. It's just a very precarious pickup because the second Boldy comes back, he gets bumped and fades into oblivion.
Yeah. I mean, you guys will be hearing this on Wednesday. I picked him up, you know, after I heard this injury, I picked him up for Monday, Tuesday, Thursday games. So we'll see because they have the games are front loaded this week. So we'll see if he can hold the spot, but I would not be surprised. Like as soon as Eriksson Ek is in my mind, it's like when Boldy comes back, Tarasenko gets off. When Eriksson Ek is back, Hartman gets bumped off. So that's kind of how I see it. And literally short term, hopefully it's nothing more serious with Boldy because as long as we don't have any information, I'm honestly trying to buy Boldy. I mean, in our league, it's very difficult, but in general, in other leagues that I'm in, I'm trying to acquire Matt Boldy because he's a fantastic asset and now he's hurt. So if he's on a team that's not near the top of the standings or in a playoff spot, I think you have a prime opportunity to capitalize here. But yeah, hopefully something serious because they are keeping it kind of close to the vest here with what it is and how long he might be out for.
Yeah. I do like that. Actually, I'm going to send out some Boldy feelers after,
you cannot
after this episode.
Stop.
The only thing I was thinking about it, but like he doesn't have the best playoff schedule, but it's still Matt Boldy. If you can get him for good value, you do it. Okay, next, Brandon Montour returned from injury, retook his spot on power play 2. Not much to say there. He was a huge sell high like 3 months ago, but hasn't done much since, even though Seattle's been killing it. And then here's a big one. Nylander is out again with a lower body injury. Matthias Michelli taking a spot on power play 1. I also saw that Matthew Nyes is questionable for the next game, so we'll see what happens there. Bobby McMahon takes his spot if he's out. But mainly Nylander, like we've been talking about him as a buy low. At what point are we just like, he's cooked? The thing is that he came back, got like 7 points in 2 games, and then just dipped again. You know, it's like we know he's good. It's just what's going on with his health.
Yeah, it's really tough, especially because the Leafs have actually sort of started to show, you know, signs of being a very solid team. I'm actually kind of impressed that they're able to do so without him being there. So it's, but he got 2 points in 2 minutes and 17 seconds of ice time, and then he got hurt.
That's all you need sometimes.
That is crazy. Like that's one thing. Depending on when it is that he comes back, he can be way better than he has been for you. Like he started off good and then he kind of took a bit of a, you know, he was a bit slow, but now I mean, yeah, he could be amazing on this Leafs team that's actually really firing on all cylinders.
He was a 1.5 points per game for like 2 months and nobody was talking about him, and then he just like kind of ghosted everybody.
You know, sell high, buy low story of the season.
Listen, you know, they call him 2-minute Nylander for a reason, and it's because he only needs 2 minutes to put up 2 points. So maybe when he comes back, he can keep up the pace again.
He only needs 2 minutes to score, as they say.
They do say that.
Why play many minute when few minute do trick?
Exactly. He's saving his energy.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
This is crazy. They're like, if he is healthy for when he comes back the rest of the season, I think his outlook is incredible, but there's a lot of risk premium here because of the injury, which
this is another
nagging him all year.
Exactly. It's another ambiguous situation. Like, who are you willing to give to buy Nylander right now?
It's scary. I mean, every time that, like, what I don't like about this one is the fact that he came back and then was out again, you know? Because I love buying these injured guys. You know that. You guys know that better than anyone. I see a guy get injured, I'm immediately like, I must have him.
Yes.
But yeah, like the re-aggravated like sketches me out a bit. I mean, you still have, no one's going to trade him for not a really solid asset. I'm trying to like, my team is really hard to do trades with because I've got like 4 or 5 like stars and then the rest is like, you know, scraps. So I don't really have that kind of like, I wouldn't trade any of my top 5 guys, but that's like 5 of the top guys in the league. But like I would trade like a 3rd round pick equivalent type of thing for Nylander.
That's pretty high. I feel like I would go lower.
Like, I mean, look, I would try lower, you know, I just don't think
but I wouldn't be willing
owner would.
to do
Okay, you wouldn't go higher than that.
Like I have Forsberg. What do you think?
Yeah, that's probably too high, I think.
mid-second round versus like, top of the second round
Yeah.
for Nylander. That's an
What about
interesting one.
like Cider?
No, I'm keeping Cider.
Well, Cider's been bad also. Like it would be tough for the
That's true.
Nylander
It's
owner
not
to
really
give him up.
yeah.
What about the classic
Hurdle?
Drake Batherson?
Yes, I was gonna say Drake Batherson.
No,
I would absolutely do that.
if you have Batherson, I don't.
I mean, I have Batherson.
You're not trading Batherson for Nylander?
Honestly, I'm
No, come
it's
on.
crazy, right?
You wait, are you guys serious?
No, wait, you
I'm
have to-
serious. Like for me, like I've thought about it. I'm like Nylander's right there. Like who can I?
Kevin, like
I'm
you have
taking
to give
Nylander.
Batherson for Nylander.
Yeah, there's no world where I'm not doing that trade.
I would rather
I'd possibly
Nylander
even do
to
Cider.
Batherson than Zetterlund to Holloway any day. Sorry, you know what
Yeah.
I meant.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, like that
Yeah.
discrepancy. No, Nylander's
With
like
the
an absolute
ambiguity
stud.
of the
That's the only
injury
reason it's
too.
possible.
Yeah, and then what?
Yeah,
like, I'm just way less of a risk tolerance person than you guys.
That's
so
fair.
I just, to me, it's like I know.
I'm definitely the most risk guy of us three, I think.
To me,
I feel like
Batherson's 0.9 points per game, 0.4 power play points, 2.5 shots, 1 hit. Nylander is what, like 3 shots?
like could be like
0.2.
1.3.
He's not 1.3 points. He's not going to be 1.3.
He could be 1.3.
I think at
The
best
rest
of
he's
the
like,
season,
I think
for
he's
sure.
like at 1.1 in my mind.
You think he's best 1.1?
I think 1.1, 1.2.
No.
Yeah.
No way.
no, like one.
I think he's
like
1.2, 1.3.
1.3 for sure. In my opinion, I feel like it's like a Mark Stone conversation with Nylander.
I way
Which I
rather
think
have Mark Stone.
I mean,
What?
Yeah.
that's fair to say. Like rather,
I'm a
but
Mark
wait,
Stone
so
lover, guys.
Oh
I
my
got a
god, it's
poster
been
in my
wait,
room.
confirmed.
I got
Batherson or
everything.
Mark Stone? Batherson or
Stone.
Mark Stone?
Mark Stone.
Okay, so Stone, Batherson, Nylander.
Stone, Bathurst. No, I think a healthy Nylander probably like it's close. I would take Nylander over Batherson, but right now like he has the injury.
Yeah, but
And-
the only reason it would even be a possibility to make that trade is
Yeah.
because of the injury.
Yeah, but it could just make my team way worse. Plus, I'm thinking about the playoff schedule. Like, would I rather 4 games of Batherson? Would I rather 3 games of Nylander?
I'm thinking
I
Nylander.
can get 2 extra power play points from Batherson over Nylander during that stretch. That's worth it for me.
I don't know.
Is that
I think for me,
I might just be too conservative with like the guys on my
Look,
roster.
this is
and
the-
everything,
Batterson's off the
so-
table to trade for. There's no way
This is
one is
the,
acquiring Batherson.
this is the same guy who said that Josh Norris was better than McDavid when at some point in the season. So
Where
we're
was
taking
that
it with a
guy?
grain of salt when it's someone on
Wow.
Kevin's team.
Okay, just
but,
for the record, I did not say that. But, but yes,
Kevin said that
that Josh Norris would never get hurt ever again.
he did say that.
I
He
think
did.
I literally said that McDavid would probably get like triple the amount of points that like Josh Norris plays games this season or something.
Yeah, we did say that.
I think I
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much said that. Those words came
Yeah.
out of my mouth. So
Yeah, and it might actually
you
happen,
didn't-
which is nuts.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. I'm excited for Nylander to hear this and then come back
Yeah.
with an absolute vengeance. And
Honestly,
end
I'm
up,
gonna
like,
send
1.7.
out Nylander offers too. Fill my team full of IR guys. I limp it to the playoffs, and then they all come back and stonks.
I tried to
Or-
trade for him, but
I've tried all
I think
season,
Drake Batherson
but,
just deserves more respect. To be honest, that's what I'm hearing out here.
Yeah, but not Nylander. Respect.
Come on.
I mean, I know Nylander will get more points, will get more shots. Batherson will get more power play points. Is the difference in those levels equate to the risk of Nylander being hurt with this groin injury the whole season?
Yes.
Yeah, but like
I don't think
The
I need,
other
to, I don't
thing,
think
I
I
get
need to
it.
take the potential of what Nylander could give me over what Batherson is giving me to win. As like, I don't think that brings me closer to
You
winning
don't-
than
you
the
don't
risk
need
of
to because your
Nylander
team's in a good
losing.
spot. But for me, it's the same logic as like the first place guy in our team doesn't want to trade because he's like, I'm in first place and
Yeah.
I'm doing great. I don't agree with that logic. If I'm in first place and someone offers me a deal that I think makes my team better, I'm still taking it. Like, I'm always looking to
For
improve my
sure.
team. I don't care where I am in the standings. So I think you don't need to make this trade, and it's risky
But you're
But
always
I
weighing
think
the
in the
risk
long
as
run-
well. Like the
for sure.
is my team in a way worse spot if I trade for Nylander and he's out for the season, gets surgery on his groin and he's missing, either putting him on IR until the playoffs? Like,
It's your risk averseness, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
That's
there's
it.
one
I
solid
would do
component,
that trade.
and then we have to move on. We're forgetting that Batherson is playing on a line with Zetterlund. Okay,
Okay,
let's
that's a
go
good
to
point.
the
All
would
right,
you
let's do the would you
rathers.
rathers. Yeah,
Let's try to
Alright,
do
well-
them a little decently.
yeah. This is a
speedy.
long episode.
I wish I had
Yeah.
Nylander on here now, but no. All right, let's jump right into it. If this is your first time listening to one of our news and would you rather episodes, this is the best bit in all of fantasy. We do the would you rather section hosted by me. We go through 5 would you rathers, one of each position: left wing, right wing, center, defenseman, goalie. And I try to split the difference between Jake and Josh, try to find the line of where these guys are valued in fantasy, and hopefully helps you guys get a better idea of how you should value your players and maybe some potential trade targets for you guys. So without further ado, would you rather rest of season in a bangers league? These are always bangers leagues. Rickard, Rakell, or Kevin Fiala?
Okay.
Always fun to edit out this pause.
I love when Kevin puts his own team guys on there because I know who's gonna pick every time.
That's not true.
I'm gonna go with Kevin Fiala, and that might be a hot take. I think that I'm much more confident in Fiala's points than Rakell's. Power play points, LA's power play is awful, but they're finally kind of figuring it out. I don't know if this might be my bias and my copium or hopium or whatever. I do think Hiller gets fired at some point. I just don't see how he could not, and I think that's going to be huge for LA and all their assets. But look, I have Brant Clark and I'm hoping for it, and I have Darcy Kemper as well, so I could just be hoping it too hard, but I really think it's going to happen. I like Fiala's shots. I like Rakell's hits and blocks. And Rakell on Pittsburgh, his power play will be better. But I'm not convinced that Rakell's staying on Pittsburgh rest of the season. So all those things kind of put together. And most importantly, the legend of second half Fiala. Everyone knows his the man, the myth, the legend. So all those reasons put Fiala. But if you tell me you prefer Rakell, this is not one where I'm like, you're crazy. It's not like a Batherson Nylander situation.
I will give a little caveat before Geekie gives his answer. On the season, in our league of record, Fiala is ranked 124. Rakell is ranked 125. Not that I agree with these Yahoo rankings, to be honest. Like, they all think they make no sense. And then over the last month, Fiala's at 148 and Rakell's at 149. So they're they're like literally one spot
very close
on the season over the last month. I don't know if you guys have looked at the numbers, but I mean, I have my answer.
I'm going mainly on vibes, but I'm pretty in tune with both these guys, even though neither's on my team.
The vibes giving me Fiala also. I'm actually gonna have to go Rakell here because I think that with the Olympic break, if Pittsburgh has to start being bad like right now in order for them to truly be sellers. They're in a playoff position. They're an old team. They want to win. Coming into the season, we all probably had them bottom of the Metropolitan ranking. And at this point, they're not going to be sellers. And Rakell's done really well on this team. The points are kind of all over the place. It's not necessarily consistent, but the shots, hits, combos are great. His blocks are decent as well. So to me, I think it's safer value from a guy on a team that should be actually okay rest of season. Plus, look, I don't think they're a lock for the playoffs, and if they're competing with 5 games in the Week 23 playoff for fantasy, that's huge. So to me, I'm gonna go Rakell there.
I mean, I'm the tiebreaker now. I'm going Rakell if it wasn't obvious to anybody but Josh. Rakell is on my fantasy team, but nonetheless, I do think it's very close. But to me, it's so close that it's almost a no-brainer because Rakell has more shots on the season. Rakell has more shots over the last 30 days. Rakell has more shots over the last 2 weeks. Like, he's been shooting more the whole season consistently. The points have been basically the same between the two of them. They're both hovering around 0.7 on the season over the last months. Like, it's pretty much the same. I'm just getting the added bonus of the hits from Rakell, the blocks from Rakell, which are very valuable from the forward position. Rakell is more he's triple eligible on Yahoo as well, so you can fit him on everywhere. You have the flexibility. Rakell plays with Sidney Crosby. Rakell is on a top 3 power play in the league. So to me, LA's power play is maybe better, but it was 30th for the whole season. You know what I mean? Like, if better means they're 25th and you're happy about it, type of thing. So to me, I just think the situation is better, and I don't think Pittsburgh is going to fall out far enough that they're going to be, all right, we're selling everybody, get them off our roster. Like, they're in a playoff spot, not a wild card spot, like an actual playoff spot right now. And I can see them continuing to perform at this level. Like, their division is not very competitive right now. So I like the prospect of staying on Pittsburgh.
If you can guarantee me that Rakell stays on Pittsburgh, I'll take Rakell over Fiala. Okay. But I think the fact that they're so close makes it that, I think if Rakell gets traded, he can lose 50% of his value. Genuinely. First of all, I don't know he's guaranteed. I don't think he's guaranteed power play 1 wherever he would end up. And I think whatever power play 1 he ends up on would be way worse than the one he's on now. So, and I don't think he's going to be line 1 wherever he ends up. I just think that a trade would be devastating for his value. whereas Fiala's going to be on LA. He's going to do what he's doing, and so far this season, they've been super close. So I do think Rakell has the edge on Pittsburgh and with that playoff schedule, but because of the risk of the trade, that's why I went Fiala. But I don't like right now, I take Rakell as well.
Okay.
All right, next one. We're going right wingers here. I'm talking Matt Barzal versus Morgan Geekie rest of season.
Two guys that I traded away this season.
Yeah.
I'm pretty in tune with Geekie because I had him most of the season. Barzal I had for I think 2 days. I traded for him and then immediately shipped him off. But again, I'm doing these off vibes, but I do know the numbers, okay, and I know Geekie's been poo-poo.
Mm-hmm.
This is a tough one. I think, okay, playoff schedule, Geekie has the edge, but it's like a 12 versus 11. Again, always talking week 21, 23. This is a really close one. I guess it just depends how much you believe in what Geekie was doing earlier this season. If you think he could bounce back, I don't know if it's just because I'm the biggest geeker out there or what. I want to say Geekie. I feel like it's very similar, and I feel like Geekie's ceiling has just been shown to be higher. His floor is lower. Barzal's the safer choice, but with that extra game and the triple eligibility and what we saw him do earlier this year, I'm going Geekie, but I could definitely be wrong on this one.
Yeah, it's funny because they're very different archetypes in some ways, and in some other ways they're in a similar situation. They're on teams that I think are both overperforming and are going to get worse. So what Boston has is the better playoff schedule in weeks 21 to 23. Although the Islanders is not really that bad. It's basically one game in week 22 that's gonna. So I guess that's not really much of a tiebreaker at all. I'd say Barzal will be safer for the points and Geekie better shots hits. So
and
I
Geekie
mean,
just has that potential to just blow up like he did earlier this year.
Yeah, he does. It's just like it's kind of weird that they're not playing him with Pasternak right now. So I don't know. To me, I guess I'm gonna go Geekie, but by a very, very slim margin, only because I think that the hits are somewhat safe and the faceoffs are not a consideration here.
Yeah.
But I think that also Barzal can be quite decent. So I don't know.
It's a good one.
Fine. You know what? I'll give it to Kevin. I'll split the difference. Let's go with Barzal. I've just changed my answer. Yeah, it's so close.
You just want to reward Kevin for coming up with a good one.
Yeah. Well, Geekie could be garbage, like as he has been. He's been really, really bad. And yeah, so
I would
think
love
that
to
Barzal,
buy him back.
He was my buy low recently.
And on the off chance that the Islanders actually do make the playoffs, which I think is a little bit higher probability than the Bruins making the playoffs, I think that Barzal just has to play a huge role there. With the Horvat injury, this and that, I mean, who knows? But Schaefer's been doing crazy things on offense, and Barzal is a part of that offense. A big
and
part of
Barzal's
that.
deployment is a lot safer. I mean, we saw Geekie's third line right now. Even when Geekie was killing it, they were just kept separating him from Pasta. They were like, I don't know why, but that's what they were doing. So there's definitely
they have to have more than one good line. That's why.
That's fair.
But Geekie's like, he's not all right. Yeah, now to split it up to make sure that we have two good lines. Let's put Pasternak and Geekie, our two world-class players, on different lines. You know what I mean? So that's the issue. Yeah, but yeah, Barzal. Kevin, how about you?
Honestly, I was hoping one of you guys would sway me in one direction because to me it was like I couldn't even decide for myself, and I put it on paper. But my gut is telling me Barzal. Like, but my mind is telling me.
Your heart is telling you.
My heart is telling me Geekie because, like, first of all, obviously the playoff schedule is always nice, but like we said, it's just an extra game in week 22. Sorry, so it's not that big of a difference. And like, I like the Islanders situation more than Boston's situation. And I think that's what's swaying me here because Boston they got no talent besides him and Pasta, and they can't even put them together because they need to be able to be competitive on the ice when Pasta's not on the ice. You know what I mean? So whereas the Islanders have been like still strong, they've been putting it together, and Horvat's still been out, so that's like an influx of talent that goes in Barzal's favor as well. So that's kind of what's making me lean Barzal, and I do think he's probably just a better player than Geekie as well, even though Geekie like popped off and was nuts to start the year. So that's kind of where I'm going.
I will not listen to this Geekie slander for one more moment. Let's go to the next one.
All right. The next one, we're talking about the center position here. This is we're dropping, I think, lower in terms of quality, let's say, potentially. But I'm talking Ryan O'Reilly rest of season or Trevor Zegras.
Love this. This is
Okay.
another great one.
I wanna start off this one and just say, to me, it's an easy O'Reilly in a face-off wins league. So I just like kind of want to get that out of the way. That I think that it's close enough without face-offs that with face-offs it's a no-brainer. Uh, Look, diving into the schedule here, 2 games in the Week 23 finals. That's annoying, but a 4-4-2. I mean, it's pretty okay. And then for Philly, it's 3-4-4. So it's better for Philly, but still, I think O'Reilly. Now, there's a lot of factors. O'Reilly getting traded, this, that, and the other thing, right? But I did not believe in Zegras being as good as he was at the beginning of the season. I made him sell high, and he has not been like. I mean, he's definitely dropped off. I don't think O'Reilly's keeping this up necessarily, but to me, Zegras, like, this is sort of where he's supposed to be, and O'Reilly, he's playing above it, but I think he'll go from like a 1.29 points per game where he's at for the last 2 weeks down to like a 0.85.
That's a huge drop.
Whereas Zegras staying at a 0.71. Like, I don't think that's out of the question.
Yeah,
so, I think this is O'Reilly.
Yeah, I'm also O'Reilly, and I'm not an O'Reilly believer. I'm not necessarily a Zegras believer either. So I think it's a great, tier. Both of them have been amazing for stretches this year. Both of them have been sell highs. Both of them, I don't believe in, like I said. But I mean, Philly, man, just they get out of Tortorella and then they get Rick Tocchet, who just feels like Tortorella light. Like the power play units make no sense. Like ice time makes no sense. Like it just feels like another Tortorella Rod type of coach that I have Tippett on my team. I traded for him from Geekie, and like he's been really good, but like no consistent lines, deployment, anything like that. Not something I'm like comfortable having. O'Reilly's line 1 power play 1 on Nashville. He will be line 1 power play 1 on Nashville all year. He's not gonna, nothing's gonna mess with that. He said he doesn't want to be traded. They've been doing well. He's not gonna get traded without his consent. He actually doesn't have a no move clause, but the Barry Trotz essentially said that I'm not going to trade him unless he wants to be traded. So, look, I believe him. I don't think it's a wise move as a GM, but I don't think a lot of the moves he's done have necessarily been wise moves. But yeah, for all those reasons, I'm going O'Reilly. I just think it's safer. And face-off wins makes it a no-brainer if you have that.
I mean, O'Reilly has been like one of the hottest players in the NHL for like the last 2 months. It feels like he was the star player on every waiver wire show for the last 6 weeks. It felt like he's at finally 49% owned. Trevor Zegras is 80% owned in Yahoo leagues, and it's crazy, right? Because I'm also going Ryan O'Reilly. I'm not going to dive too much into it. You guys made great points. I think we all agree that he's just a better player right now. He's higher. Performing way better. Zegras is always like a tantalizing name. It feels like when he's doing well, people think like sky's the limit, even though I think the limit is way lower than the sky. So, yeah.
If I had drafted Zegras, there's no chance he would still be on my team. I would have sold high on him ages ago.
1000%. Same here. All right.
Yeah.
Maybe this is another guy you should, if you drafted him or picked him up, you would have sold him immediately. But talk on defensemen here. Would you rather Darren Raddysh or Mikhail Sergachev rest of season?
Wow.
How much do we believe in the Raddysh hype?
I mean, look, I think Raddysh is a sell high, but I do think that he keeps power play 1 when Hedman comes back, so I don't think he's going to drop into oblivion. And I love Utah. I love their power play. I think Sergachev's great, especially for blocks. They don't have the best playoff schedule. It's a 4-3-2. Tampa's a 4-3-4, or like essentially has 2 more games. I think this might be crazy, but I think I'm taking Raddysh.
Same. And I have Sergachev, so if I was offered that 1-for-1, I'm taking it. Obviously, the floor is a lot lower, I would say. But you know what? It's not so much that I trust Raddysh here, it's that I trust Kucherov, who's just absolutely ridiculous. Utah does not have a Kucherov-esque player. It doesn't really exist. Yeah, there you go. It doesn't exist outside of McDavid, McKinnon, and Kucherov, and Draisaitl, I suppose. But it's really that like exceptional to have someone on that power play 1, and I think to be a part of that is crazy. Plus, the better playoff schedule is like a cherry on top.
Over the last month in the NHL, who has the most points as a defenseman over the last 30 days?
Is it Darren Raddysh?
Lane Hudson.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Who is the second most points in the NHL as a defenseman?
Let me think. Is it Darren Raddysh?
It's Darren Raddysh. Ahead of Quinn Hughes, ahead of Evan Bouchard, ahead of Kilmakar, ahead of Zach Werenski, ahead of Roman Yossi. So he has been on fire for the last month. He's at like 1.4 points per game, like over 0.5 power play points.
I was this close to picking him up.
It feels like nobody wants to acquire him in a trade, but nobody is like wants to trade him away. I don't know.
You know
It's
what?
just-
In our league, there was a trade where someone picked up Raddysh and immediately flipped him, and like I don't know. I feel like the Raddysh
I forgot that trade happened.
receiver. Yeah, it was like one of the few trades in our league, maybe the only trade in our league that happened not with any of us involved.
Yeah,
But essentially, it was one side received Jake Sanderson and Will Smith, and the other side received Tom Wilson and Darren Raddysh.
Tom Wilson's Raddysh side by crazy. That's
Right?
nuts.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Feels nuts.
Yeah, I mean, that like it turned out that Wilson and Raddysh were just absolutely ridiculous. Are you sure that that's what it was? It was a 2 for 2.
That's the trade. Yeah.
When it happened,
That's,
I remember us being like, I would take the Sanderson to Will Smith side. Like it feels easy because Tom
Yeah.
Wilson is obviously the best player in that trade, but these two guys make up for the value. You're selling high on Darren Raddysh. Meanwhile, this guy just keeps putting up 1.5 points per game over the whole season that he's been picked up. So
It's crazy.
Yeah,
it is crazy.
yeah,
All
that was
right.
quite
Okay.
quite the
Final
trade.
one.
Ending with the goalie position. I mentioned him on the sell high or the buy low episode that you guys
Okay.
just listened to. But would you rather rest of season Joseph Woll or Sergei Bobrovsky?
Bob. Done.
That's it?
Easy. To me, that's an easy one.
Woll has been on
I
fire.
mean,
Toronto's been
yeah,
great.
but Stolarz is coming back. They're gonna split starts. I mean, Woll could get 60% to 40, but he's not getting more than that. Bob let in 9 goals. Tarasov had an amazing game, and who's starting tonight? It's Bob. There's
Bob is
no,
our guy.
yeah. Bob is gonna get the majority of the starts. We also talked about in the
But that also means the
episode where-
starts may not be quality.
Yeah, but we talked about him as a buy low. Like we think this is gonna go up. Mathew Tkachuk just came back. I think Florida's a better team than Toronto, and I think Bob's getting more starts than Woll. I think Woll, like, if you tell me Woll's going to end up with a better save percentage, goals against average than Bob rest of the season, I'd be like, yeah, I could see that happening. I wouldn't be shocked if you. But Bob's going to get more wins and more saves, and I think it's going to be pretty significant for both of them.
The consideration here is that if Florida does go on a tear, then the
They're not
chances
resting
of
him.
Ball
JK.
playing less games are higher, and I just don't think that's happening anymore. And he also has the whole Olympic break to rest. So to me, like it's almost a no-brainer that Bob's going to get the lion's share, but I actually think Wall is going to get more than 60%. Nevertheless, like yeah, because he's been so good.
Mhm.
Like, and it's not like Stolarz is. I mean, before Toronto, he was a career backup.
Sure, yeah.
So he's a good goalie. Like I get it, but this resurgence in the Leafs has like started with Woll, and they're going to keep riding it because they need to. So to me, it's actually quite close. Like I know you just came out right away and said Bob. I get it. I'm still going Bob, but a way slimmer margin than I think you are because Woll's just been really decent in his own right, and I would also bet that Bob starts more games, but it's not going to be a tremendous difference. So
Yeah.
Bob's the answer there, but close.
Bob's your uncle.
Woll has started 5. Woll has been averaging 5 more saves a game over Bob, which is pretty significant. Like Woll gets like 29, Bob gets like 24. So that's not nothing. We said Bob
Yeah.
will get more saves, but maybe just
But I
the
just think because
quantity.
Bob's getting a lot more starts.
Yeah, exactly.
And Bob's letting in a lot more goals.
yes.
That's actually part of
Yeah.
it. I mean,
He's-
if 9 goals, like you know,
Yeah. No, just
you
'cause
can
I
make up
just-
ground.
Just because I chose
Like-
quickly doesn't make this a bad one. It just in my mind,
Okay.
I believe in the turnaround for Bob a lot, and I think
Same.
Stolarz coming back will hamper Woll's viability. Like he's still gonna be the 1A, but I don't think it's a clear cut.
I think Woll will get more starts than we expect because we've seen this be a tandem in the past where it's just like, split 50-50 or ride the hot hand a little bit. But I think Stolarz has done too much damage to his own value and his health to like make a significant dent in the workload for Woll. So I'm with Geekie. I think Woll is going to start way more games than we expect. And the quality, I think, is going to be better than Bob. So it's honestly super tight for me because I just said Bob is my buy low as well. And I truly believe it. But I'm giving somebody way worse than Woll if I'm buying Sergei Bobrovsky, so you got to bake that into the value. Honestly, it's so close, but I'm also going Bob. I just feel like Florida's about to turn on a dime, and once they get healthy, things will go back to normal. It's like whatever we just seen from the season, you throw it out and you restart from scratch. So
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm realizing while talking about this real quick, and then we'll wrap it up. The teams that win the Stanley Cups are the teams that are actually good for fantasy too. And I mean that in one, they have an actual starter, not a 1A, 1B, and they deploy their players as good
Properly.
fantasy assets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, is Philly winning this year? Probably not, right?
We never know.
Like, Carolina always seems competitive, but they don't win, right? You know, like, even the teams that just go to the Stanley Cup Finals, like Colorado, Tampa, Florida, these are elite fantasy hockey assets.
Well, we can say they're elite
in the
fantasy
league.
hockey assets because they're just like really good at hockey, and the players that win the Stanley Cup are really good at hockey. So,
Right, but I'm
It
just
goes both
saying, like,
ways.
if the Leafs want to win, they got to make Woll their their absolute number one goalie. Like, it's like
Yeah.
that's it, you know.
I think a lot of
fantasy
times
value's
though
there.
the teams that
That's
do
it.
the tandems is because they're worried about injuries, right?
Mhm.
Like Wall is not he's pretty squishy himself. Stolar's super squishy, you know. Like I mean, look, we were talking Colorado. They have a tandem. They're a favorite for the cup this year.
But
It's
they
because both their
didn't
goalies
when
are
they
super
won.
squishy. That's fair.
They
Yeah.
didn't when they won, and also like look at Tampa, straight Vasilevsky. You know, I mean,
Yeah, but that's Vasilevsky.
Vegas.
If
Yeah,
if
not
you put
everyone has
Vasilevsky
the-
on every other team, they'd probably be pretty good too.
Look how good Washington was last year as a team, and they were the tandem all year, and then they lost. They lost the second round.
That's true.
I don't read too much
So-
into the tandem. I think teams that do tandems don't have elite goalies, and I think teams with elite goalies win Stanley Cups. So I think that's kind of like the logic
A
there.
really good way of putting it.
Well, and the power play won.
And the power
And the
play
power
won,
play
yeah.
won.
Yeah.
So that's it. So
No,
all right.
100%.
Thank you to everybody for listening to this week's news and updates and Would You Rather. This was great. There was a lot of content here, a long episode, but well worth it because there's so much to talk about. If you enjoyed the show, give this video a like. Crickets. There we go. Thank you, Josh. On YouTube. And subscribe to the channel. Also, we are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast. If you like this, rate the episode 5 stars. Nice. And then follow the channel as well. All the socials are in the podcast description, and be sure to join the Discord community.
Yay. Guys, the Discord is popping always. We're close to 300 members. I remember when we were talking about it on the podcast, being like,
Yeah,
when we hit
talking about shaking that
100,
booty.
when we hit 100, now we're almost going to hit 300. It's pretty crazy. Thanks for everybody
When's the
joining
booty
the
shake?
community. When we hit 500.
We had it.
When we hit 500.
Make it happen, people.
Take it away, Ernie.
Ba-ba-da-bow-bow. Banger Management Fantasy Hockey Podcast. Woo!
Wow.
Bye.